Welcome back, Mustangs, to the third edition of the Millard North Blueview. My name is Grace Vidlac, and here with me is Macy Jaros. In today's episode, we will be covering the Muse, Donuts Around Omaha, the swim team's relay race, and the Millard Public Schools bond issue. Millard Public Schools is having voters decide if the school system will receive a new bond issue. Blueview reporters Macy Jaros and I went to learn more about how this will impact Millard North. On November 18, 2024, the Board of Education went to seek out a bond issue to help improve the Millard Public School system. The board based the improvements on three considerations: safety and security, building facilities, and strategic plan.
Safety and security is in there, maintaining our facilities that are aging is in there, and renovating older schools are in there. Those three conceptually, surfaced as priorities. We had stakeholder groups where we shared some of the project ideas that we were looking at with them, and we asked them which ones they thought made the most sense and which ones gave them concern. And we did a community-wide survey as well, where we asked people across the community, whether they had kids in school or not, how they felt. And then there's a group of students that I meet with in the superintendent student advisory where we shared with them the projects that we were looking at as well, and they gave feedback. And ultimately that helped us to take a project list that was, this big and narrow it down to what you see.
If approved, Millard North is set to receive roughly $13 million. One of the renovations will be a second gym, which will allow for a more efficient scheduling of games and practices.
We are the only school in Millard that cannot run during the winter a JV and a varsity basketball games at the same time. We have to put in an extra day or extra weekend in order to facilitate those JV games, which then also has our JV coaches and assistant coaches up here extra day or extra night.
The skilled and technical science area is still original to the building. With the times changing, it is not only a safety concern, but cannot be used for the new advancements in the curriculum.
Right below us is the woodworking space. Right next door to that is the metalworking space. And then also all the sounds that are in here too. It's just really loud. So it's not a space that's conducive to a really world-class learning environment.
Other high schools have had new renovations, multi-million-dollar ones, and so we want to stay competitive too. Also, to attract more students here to say, hey, we can take more skilled and technical science classes. We have better construction area, better welding area. We can attract new students and get students more educated on knowing what other career opportunities there are out there other than just what a four-year path can have for you.
Millard North will gradually see these improvements if the bond issue is approved over the next few years.
Ultimately, what we're going to try and do is do it in a way that's least disruptive to the school environment and that's most cost effective.
Ballots were mailed out on January 21st and are due February 11th. For more information, go to mpsomaha.org. With the Blueview, this has been Grace Vidlac and Macy Jaros.
The boys' free relay swim team has just broken a new school record with a time of 3 minutes, 13 seconds, and 26 milliseconds. Blueview reporters Ashley Heisler and Shri Golapalli went to find out more about their goals for the rest of the season.
With the swimming season coming to an end, the boys' free relay team is working their way to earn a spot at state.
Goals for the rest of the season are to do as well as we can at the Millard North Invite. This is our third biggest meet of the year. Friday is the prelims down at UNO. There's about 500 swimmers that'll be down there, 17, 18 teams. It's a one of the biggest meets out of the year, pretty equivalent to the size of what our conference meet will be in 1 month, and then after that we have state. So this group of swimmers really has 3 meets over the next 45 days, and then our season will be over. So our goals are to have 3 meets, swim as best possible. Right now, I think this team is capable of a 3rd or 4th place finish when we get to state.
As the season has progressed, the boys have worked hard to break their school record and are encouraging each other to be their best on the block.
So like the beginning of the season, we weren't really sure how we were gonna do and like who would be on the relays, but then like we all got a lot better and we realized that this could be like a really good relay for us at state. So it was just fun seeing everyone else get faster.
They've helped me, you know, bring me to a whole other level, you know, just swimming with the team and being there every day with those guys. Just really inspires me to be the best version of myself and to swim the best I ever could.
They are extremely supportive. They have one goal in mind. They know that they want their name on that record board, and so they are positive. They are pushing. They each want to be faster than the person in front of them. They can see on the scoreboard what the person went, and they know they want to beat it, so that way they can, as a team, just excel with each other.
Every year, there are new challenges, but the coaches have made the team feel more united than ever and have made sure every swimmer feels valued and brought something significant to the team.
My coaches have helped me just by supporting me and, you know, helping me every step of the way. We've had new coaches this year, and they took up the mantle really well and have added a lot to the team by not just including, you know, people on the state team, but including every single swimmer to make sure they feel important. And that, you know, that makes us feel like a team, not just a bunch of individual swimmers.
I encourage them by giving them the opportunity to practice and to have that focus and have that team atmosphere during practice as well as during the meet, and give them the opportunity in practice as well as the opportunity in meets to refine their skills, to practice in live scenarios, to be able to be better than they are and hopefully achieve what their goals are, which also leads to team success.
This has been Ashley Heisler and Sheree Golapalli with the Miller North Blueview.
After nearly 10 years, the Miller North Students' literature magazine, The Muse, is back. Blueview reporters Lucy Joyce and Solomon Mousset went to find out more.
The Miller North Literary Magazine has lain dormant for almost 10 years. What is a literary magazine and why is it back? We went to the club's staff sponsor, Whitney Hansen, as well as multiple students involved to find out more.
The Muse is a publication of students' writing and art across all different genres and mediums. It's also selected for publication by an editing staff of students.
Now we know what it is, but why did they decide to bring it back? Here's 2 students involved in the Muse's return.
Basically, I was in creative writing, and my teacher said something about like, oh, like if we had a literary magazine, you should submit this piece to it. And I was like, oh, well, I wanted to start one. And so we kind of just like went from there, and I just kept nagging her about it every day.
Well, AJ mentioned it to me at an event we were at, and it just kind of went from there. AJ and I kind of took initiative, kind of pushed it forward, and then here we are.
It was actually because students were literally asking for it. It's an amazing thing for any school to have, honestly. It's like a little time capsule of the things that kids cared about at the time, but also I had a student approach me asking if you know, we've ever thought about starting one, and I said, it's funny you ask, we had one like 10 years ago, and so we talked about bringing it back, and I started going through that whole process, and you know, with them, as they would say, nagging me through the whole thing to make sure it could actually come to fruition.
Despite the 10-year hiatus, the magazine has been working hard on advertising for submissions both in person and online.
So right now, since we haven't, you know, published anything in the last 10 years, we haven't published any student work yet, but we have an Instagram where we're starting to get more active and post our calls for submissions. Those are open from now until the end of February.
Pretty much, we kind of so far we've just been designing our social media pages, but now we're starting to get submissions from other students in the school, and we pretty much just go over those submissions as a group.
There are posters everywhere with QR codes on them. If you see a poster with QR code, it says submission guidelines and submission form, then that's probably ours, and it says Miller North Muse on it.
For artists who would like to submit, here's what the staff have to say.
Our submissions are open until the end of February. The theme is New Beginnings, and we accept fiction, nonfiction, poetry, comics, music, short films, and all kinds of art. And really, if you have anything else that falls under the theme of New Beginnings, I'm sure we want that too.
And I think you'd be surprised what fits into that category. So don't limit yourself to, sunrises and moving to a new place. I think there's a lot you can do with it.
This has been Salman Mousset and Lucy Joyce with the Miller North Blueview.
Donuts are a breakfast classic, but there's a lot to choose from. Blueview reporters Tyler Epstein and Marco Valdez went out to try 4 different places around Omaha to decide which is the best.
What's up, Mustangs? This is Tyler Epstein. I'm Marco Valdez on the Miller North Blueview, and today we're going around Omaha reviewing 4 different donut places.
We're going to start off by reviewing the glazed donuts. The first one was Hertz. And you know what? They didn't have one.
We had to get an old-fashioned donut, and it was not good at all.
Yes, the texture was so weird, and the aftertaste, oh my god, that was terrible.
It was really bad. I'd give it like a 3.5 out of 10, maybe. The second place we went to was Square Donut, and Square had a solid glazed donut. It was just, I would say it was probably the best glazed donut we had. I would give it around a 7.5, nothing special. The third place we went to was Winchell's Donuts, and it was a fine glazed donut. It just,
I would say the texture was a little bit worse than Square, although it was pretty good.
Yeah, 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10,
Yeah.
yes.
And the last place we went to was Mochi Nut. And that place didn't have any regular donuts, they didn't have any glazed. So we just picked the closest thing, which was a Rice Krispie donut. What'd you think of it?
The texture was so weird.
It was really weird, and it just didn't have much flavor, and it was just crunchy, just not my favorite, like a 5.8, maybe a 6 out of 10.
We're going to continue with the chocolate ones. And the first place we went to was Hertz. What did you think about it?
It was probably the best chocolate donut out of the 4. It was good. Great chocolate flavor, good texture, 7.8. Next, we had Square Donut, which it was fine. It was just a decent donut. Their worst donut, I'd say, but still pretty good, 7 out of 10.
Yeah, 7 out of 10. Square had all decent donuts, but this one was probably the worst.
Next, we have Winchell's Donuts. Yeah, the chocolate flavor really sets it back. That's exactly what I was looking for. Maybe a 5.7 out of 10.
Yeah, 5.7, 5.8, something like that.
And the last place we went to, again, was Mochi Nut, which again, does not have regular flavors, so we had to get a Nutella flavor, which was fine. Probably their best donut, actually, for Mochi Nut. Yeah, it had a little crunchy elements on top, but just, not the best. 6.8. Now on to our last donuts of the day, and that is the specialty donut.
The specialty donut from Hertz was a Smash one, and it looked really good. I was expecting a lot from it, but it wasn't that good.
It was not very good. It tastes like coffee, and I hate coffee, and it just, the frosting split apart, not good, like a 4.5 out of 10.
Yes, I gave it a 4.
4, wow. Second place we go to is Square Donut, which had a spectacular chocolate peanut butter donut.
Yeah, it tasted like a Reese's. It was so good.
It was really good, 9 out of 10. The third place was Winchell's again, and this place had the best donut of the entire day, the jelly donut.
It had this raspberry jelly, which was amazing, and I gave it a 9.5.
The last place, Mochi Nut, which had the Cookie Monster donut, which looked promising, but
it was terrible. The aftertaste was so bad. The only thing that I could say it was decent was the eyes.
Yeah, I liked the eyes. Yeah, very playful eyes. I liked it.
In fourth place, with a cost of $2.50 a donut, we have Munch Nut. They look good, but honestly, nothing else.
And in third place, we have Hertz Donuts. Also look great, but not much flavor. Also costing $2.50 a donut. What about second place, Marco?
In second place, with a cost of $1.70, we have Winchell's. It had the best donut of the day, but the other two were just decent. I'm excited to know what the first place is.
Yes, and if you didn't already know, in first place we have Square Donut costing $2.25 a donut, and probably the greatest donuts in all of Omaha. So definitely go try some Square Donut. Try all the places, but the place that's definitely worth your while is Square Donut. Thank you for watching, Mustangs. This has been Tyler Epstein.
I'm Marco Valdez
with the Miller North Blueview.
Thanks for watching, Mustangs. We hope you have a great day.